this edition of Issues by Elsie. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your subscription. I'm here because you're there. I trust God that when we share these experiences, we learn and help each other in our communities, in our families, and what have you. Today we will be examining Ifeanyi's story, which has made headlines over the internet for the past weeks. I believe many of you have seen it, but there is this young girl who has been trending, over TikTok, Facebook, and a lot of people have been making comments, and I had to take time to look at it and be like, okay, what is really happening? Needless to say, it was so difficult, even just within the first minute of the video, as I watched her and her mom. The rudeness was just so depressing. I had to struggle. As a parent, I had to struggle through just watching the video to be able to give my own opinion, which I will be throwing right here. In this video, which you will take a look.
I help you with bitterness is good, because I was once there where I was very bitter. I was bitter at everything around me. I was bitter with everybody. I was bitter with
Do you know the things that I just told you that you did to me, you never apologized for? And please explain to me how you are helping me. How was that helping me? How did you help me by abandoning me when I was 8 months pregnant? How did you abandon by cursing me out while I was in NICU? Mommy, the conversation is over. It's over. The conversation's over. The conversation's over.
You insult me before my face.
Yeah.
And you want me to apologize to you.
The conversation is over. The conversation is over. With my father. With my father for 33 years. I'm just like my father. I'm just like my father.
That's why friendship fits both of you.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
That's why friendship.
And that's why he doesn't want to be your friend.
That's why.
Or be with you. Or be with you.
It took me time. Yes.
Okay.
Or be with me. Thank God. Because God saved me.
Okay, girl.
God saved me from a crazy character.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. I wish God would save me from this crazy character.
You simply find a girl who has refused to listen. Ifeanyi and many like her, the problem with her is that when you watch the video, I'm going per the video and watch, she has exposed in the video about herself, about her mom, or about her family. So that's where my analysis are coming from. When you watch this video, you find a girl who has refused to listen. The problem with Ifeanyi in this video or in her life is simply that she has refused to listen. Ifeanyi has refused to learn. She has refused to take accountability for her actions. She has a clouded mind and judgment, and has a way that she views things or wants to see things or believes in things, and you can't change those things in her subconscious mind. Not saying that maybe they happened, they didn't happen, but she has a mind made up in even her interaction. You find a girl who has refused to take accountability for her actions. You find a girl that, even though not born in America but brought into America at a young age and raised in the American society, she has decided to be a more Americanized than the real Americans. You find a girl who, instead of learning how to be a gentle woman and everything, she's picked up the curse language, the rudeness, the inability to even just have a decent conversation, and even in her words, as she admits it, that she is out of touch, or that she just doesn't have it. Something is wrong upstairs when you watch the video, per her admission. And you find a young girl who feels entitled. So what did I say? This is a girl who has refused to listen. She's refused to learn. She's refused to take accountability for her actions. She has her mind made up about certain things, and so you can't change them. She's more Americanized than the real Americans. The question you might want to ask me, who are the real Americans? I say, do your research. For someone who wasn't born in America, but simply brought into America and raised in America, and then she feels entitled. And I'm going to be expressing it in this video as we go along. When you watch the video, you find a mother, as a parent who has raised girls and sent them through college. I find a mother who has spent her life trying to get her daughter to get it right and not make the mistakes that she made, so that her daughter can have a better life. But her mom probably didn't do it in the best of ways, but did it how she knew how to. On the other hand, because of the society in which they find themselves, the daughter has this mind made up and sees her mother's actions of discipline. To her, she sees them as abuse, and so has this clouded mindset, and has decided to, rather than listen and understand from what angle her mom is coming from, she feels like because of the society in which she finds herself, she should rebel and claim the aspect of abuse, which is what people or girls like her who don't want to make anything useful of their lives, they do. They play the emotional blackmail about their parents being abusive and cry over things, which, not saying that it's not important, but they spend time on those things, crying over those things, rather than look at what is the bigger picture about them growing up to be what their parents wish for them, so that they can be out of the abuse, if at all there is any. But what is the situation of this girl? In her case, per the video, the girl has a problem with the mother calling her. And then when the mother doesn't call her, it is a problem. You find a girl who, in wanting to have control, rushed to go and have a baby. Sings to her mom is abusing her, or she wants to have a baby so that she can have control over her own baby, or treat her baby better than her mother treated her. The only difference is that she goes to have the baby with an absent father. And to her, she wants to, in having the baby, she doesn't even see anything wrong in the fact that she says her mom ruins the surprise that she prepared to tell her mom that she is pregnant. You and I know from the backgrounds that we come from that you don't surprise, it's no surprise calling your mom to announce a pregnancy that you are not married to the father, especially at such an age. It's not a surprise, it's an insult. But you see, because she doesn't get it, because she probably has friends that are as delusioned as she is, she blames the mother for not coming for her surprise. A young lady like her is so out of touch and fails to even see around her that her age mates and girls of her age, the real surprises they are giving to parents who suffered and raised them is that after they come out of college, they do what they need to do, work, maybe pay off their school fee loans, give their parents a better life. They are surprising their parents with the latest cars. They're surprising their parents with a house because they probably grew up in an apartment where everybody was queuing up to use the bathroom. That is the surprise that children or girls of her age are giving to their mothers and fathers and acknowledging the hard work they did for them regardless. But in Ifeanyi's case, she wants to surprise her mama with a pregnancy, of which after having the baby, the father is not even around. She has to run into her mother's arms for help and comes and stays in the mother's house and expects the mother to be happy. Why your mother spent time talking to you or all that she did was so that you do not get into the toxic relationships, which she admits that she keeps getting into toxic relationships and being abused. If anything we don't gather from this video and watching what this girl did, one thing is, I understand where this mother was coming from. All what the mother was trying to do was so that she does not repeat her mistakes as a mother. But guess what did she do? Because Ifeanyi will not listen. She decides to be a rebel. She decides to be a black sheep of the family. Yes, her actions made her the black sheep of the family. And so that is why she continues to get into nothing but toxic relationships, like the one where she is and went there and had a baby and the father of the baby is not even present, and she has to run back to her mom and stay in her mom's house and begin to, in her bleak mind, thinking that it is right for her to be in her mother's house and have her mother respect her boundaries. Do you see how out of touch and out of reality this girl is? You are living in your mother's house after having a pregnancy where the father of your baby is not even found or cannot even come around, or let's say you guys have even broken up. Mind you, that is the pregnancy you so wanted to surprise mama with. Now the father is not around, you have no place to go, and you have to rush back into your mother's house. And when you come into your mother's house, you want to set boundaries for your mother to follow. That is how out of touch this generation and girls like her have become in our today's world. And they think it's okay. When you go to the comment section, you'll find people hailing this girl. The only person who tells her the truth, she calls out the person that the person is a narcissist. So to Ifeanyi, everybody who speaks the truth or tells her the reality about life is a narcissist, except her. She is not a narcissist. And guess what? The people who hail her in the comment section, I put it to you, after they hail her in the comment section and tell her all the things that she wants to hear, if you were to pick each and every individual who is hailing her in the comment section, they are in their parents' houses. They are living up their parents. But guess what? They are not insulting their parents and putting it up on social media like she is doing. They are there hailing her and telling her how she's doing right. Except that if you pick those people in the comment section, whether they are girls like her or older people, and ask that their brothers date this same Ifeanyi, it will never work. They will never accept Ifeanyi to be a girlfriend to any of their brothers, or to be a wife to any of their brothers, or even to come around their families. And so what will she continue to be? She will continue to be like that and be hailed by people who don't have her interests at heart. But because that is what she wants to hear, she thinks she's on the right path. She will continue to get into toxic relationships because she has refused to listen and to learn. Something her mom tried so hard so that she does not get into. And the sad thing about it right now is that she even has a baby added to it. Since she feels that the discipline her mom gave her was all abuse, I guarantee you there will be no discipline for her daughter. And so the daughter is left at the mercies of the system. Do you see how bad that is? And that even though she got pregnant maybe at 25, the daughter runs the risk of getting pregnant even before 16. Because I put it to you, there will be no discipline. She will just let the daughter do whatever, because to her mama abused her, and that is the reason she ran and went for a baby, so that she could show her own control. Except that her own control, I put it to you, will be definitely disastrous. We live in a world of social media where nothing goes away. What she has put out, it will trace her and her daughter for the rest of her life. And I can guarantee you, we will be having this conversation again down the line. Someone will say, oh, Ifeanyi's mother failed. No. As a parent, I would say the mother did not fail. Ifeanyi failed herself. Because guess what? When you grow up in a home, as a child growing up, you see the mistakes of your parents. And if you're saying and listening and watching, if you only listen, you would see the mistakes of your parents. And in order to make your life better, you want to ensure you do not repeat the mistakes of your parents. But if you grow and you choose and you become an adult, because when you pass 18, it is expected that you are an adult. And if you choose to continue to cry and play the victim like Ifeanyi is playing, and go around doing only the wrong things, getting pregnant with the wrong guys, and doing all sorts of things, you no longer blame her mom for her actions. She is to be blamed for her actions, because guess what? She is an adult and can take decisions for herself. She refused to learn. Whatever it is that she's gotten a baby, yeah, it's time to go and take care of. As for the mother, she was not even supposed to let her come back into her house. If you decide that it's a baby you want to go and have, okay, you go have your baby and leave and figure it out and become a mother. But I guess the mother would let her come back in because of the baby. Sometimes when we raise kids and we teach them the way to go, and they rebel and do not want to accept that which is right, you need to accept it and count your losses and make your peace and let them go. As immigrants into the American society or the Western world or whatever it is, we know that it is different. How we raise children in these societies or the Western world, it's very different. We will have to come to the knowledge and accept the fact that there is a difference. And we will have to accept and go with what works and what works in this society. One thing is clear: when your child turns 18, they are considered adults. If they commit a crime, they are charged in court like adults. You can no longer stand for them. Anywhere they go, they sign the papers as adults. You might even want to go into an office with a doctor for them, they will tell you to step out because they are considered adults. So as a parent, you do what you need to do in talking to them and make them understand that at 18, they are leaving your house. Oh yes, you heard me. When you put it into the minds of your children, I know it is very hard, but your children need to understand that at 18, they are visitors in your house. You do not keep them around, because when you keep them around and continue to hold on to them, this is where this aspect of abuse continues to come up. They no longer see anything that you're doing for them as in their best interest. They see it as abuse. So as parents, as immigrant parents, the best way is to place it in their minds and have them understand that as of the age 18, they are visitors in your home. Visitors, I mean that if they're going to be around, it's because they're definitely in college doing something useful with their lives. And so they go, leave for college and come back, or if they're in the house doing a community college and everything, then they are respecting those boundaries. You can't keep them in the house and not have a curfew for them. No, they will have a curfew as to when to get back home. And let them understand that they are visitors. And that when it is time, you will assist them and move them out into wherever they are going. Reason, they need to take their education serious. Come out of that college, go get a job. If they want to live at home and save money, fine. But they will respect those boundaries at home. If they choose not to live at home, you assist them to go and get an apartment and get whatever. But as from 18, immigrant children, you have to sink it into their brains that they are visitors. Because it is this aspect of us as parents holding on to them, not wanting them to go because we feel like they are too young or they are immature. No, they would learn it the hard way. I've seen situations where you have 30-year-olds still being in their parents' houses and abusing their mothers. There's even a situation where one even shot and killed the mother because he's still lingering around, has no place to go. When you instill it in them that they are visitors from age 18, I put it to you, they will always shape up. I tell my kids, I don't have a problem if you choose that it is McDonald's you want to go work. McDonald's is a good job. Walmart is a good job. Whatever it is that you choose to do, it's good by me. But know that at 18, you are a visitor in my home. If you are going to stay in my home, it is because you are in college. You're going to college, you're coming back, and I am seeing that you are putting in the work and doing everything. And once you're done, you go get a job. If you choose to live in the house and save some money or pay your school fee loans, you're welcome to that. But you got to respect my boundaries. You can't talk back at me under my roof. I set the rules. And if you're going to go and get pregnant, I have just this help for you. A ticket back to our home country. Oh yes, you heard me. Because sometimes we need to be transparent with these children and let them see from what angle we are coming from. I remember when my girls joined me, I had the food stamps. And I put them down. I put down my oldest daughter and I put her down. And I told her. One time I pulled out the food stamp card and I gave it to her. And I told her that she should go to the store and get us some food stuff. So she went across the street. The store was just across the street from the apartment complex where we live. She went across the street and she bought the groceries and came back and came and placed it on the table. And I told her to sit down. I told her, I reminded her, I said, look, as a single mother, you see the way I am struggling. I thank God for the society. in which we find ourselves, where they are able to look at single mothers and be like, okay, because by virtue of that your income is not much, they give you food stamps so that you can be able to feed your children and things like that. I told her, if I am taking these food stamps, it's simply because I wasn't born here. And I acknowledge that I need the help, and I'm grateful to the government that it understands that I need this help with you people. But I put it to you, the taking of these food stamps starts and ends with me. It is a taboo, and you are not authorized in this society to ever go down to any social office or anywhere to apply for food stamps. The generation of food stamp starts and ends with me as the first immigrant into this country. I told my daughter, do you understand me? She said yes. I said, put it in your brain that you will never go anywhere in this society as a young girl who has come in here and all the opportunities around you to be whatever that you can become, that you will go somewhere and apply for a food stamp to come and feed your own children. I am feeding you with food stamp by virtue of the fact that I immigrated here. If I were born here, I want to believe God, I will not even go for the food stamp. But so that I will feed you and we will not die of hunger. You are promised to me, or the only reward you can give to me is that you never go for a food stamp, to apply for a food stamp in this country, because it will be an insult to me and all that I have worked for, and even an insult to this government and to this system. And I'm glad my daughter took to it. She has never gone for it. She has her own children. She is taking care of them. She has, a six-figure job, or however you will call it. And she takes care of me inclusive. That is the cry of Ifeanyi's mother. But Ifeanyi refused to listen. And Ifeanyi wants to be entitled, asking that people load a cash app. What cash app? She has some bigger problems on her hand, and the least of her worries is getting toys for her daughter. The bigger problem is how this daughter is going to grow, how and where she is going to grow, what will solve her. Because guess what? You can get into any yard sales and pick up any toys. You can go to Salvation Army and get toys for free. So asking people to cash up you, when you listen to it, is that feeling of entitlement. She feels entitled that people should cash up her for her stupidity in the name of her daughter. Cry the beloved daughter, because for a girl like her who can take accountability and keeps getting only into toxic relationships because she herself is toxic, do you understand how and where that child will be exposed to the toxicity, and what that girl, the young baby, runs the risk of even being raped? Because even people who are staying in their homes without toxic people coming around, you still have people sneaking in and raping them. What more of when you keep moving around with boyfriends and people that are just all toxic? Ifeanyi has refused to learn. Ifeanyi has refused to listen. And believe it or not, she will continue to pay the price until she sits down, reflects, and starts to listen. It all begins with listening. Listening. When you listen, you understand, you change, you accept, and you follow instructions. You see things the way you follow advice, you take advice. That is what listening is. Until she starts listening, she will continue to go down that road. And for those hailing her, like I said, let them allow her to date or marry their brother. They can't, because she's toxic. They can't. To all the mothers out there who are dealing with situations like this, it's okay. Raise children in this society with the mindset of letting them go. You have to release them for your own safety. When you have talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, when they get to 18, even before they get to 18, make peace with yourself and know that they no longer belong to you. They belong to the society and to God. Reason you can't stop talking.
I invite you to keep regular dates with me on my new series of Issues by Elsie on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
And thanks for joining me on this journey